East, we're wondering what this would all mean for us pumping go-go juice into our cars. Roger McKnight is the senior petroleum analyst at Enpro International. He joins us now. Good to have you with us.
Good afternoon.
You figure there's a more than 2-cent increase per liter coming our way tomorrow.
And that's on a national basis. It's 2.1 cents a liter, and normally that just reflects Ontario and Quebec, but this time it goes right from the foothills of the Rockies right to the East Coast.
How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, the oil companies are following rules, and the rules are that they follow the New York Harbor changes in the futures price of gasoline. And I've been following it now for about a month, and they're nailing it pretty good. They're not playing any games. There's no gouging going on whatsoever. They match almost exactly what the change in the futures price of gasoline is at New York Harbor.
Okay, so what is happening at the New York Harbor that has led you to expect that 2-cent increase?
Well, it increased 8.1 cents a gallon yesterday. So when I look at the Canadian dollar as well, you work that in, and it works out to 2.1 cents a liter.
Okay, so is there a supply and demand issue that's leading that New York Harbor figure? You're shaking your head. Why?
No, the inventories are fine. The driving season for gasoline, so-called driving season, ends this weekend with Labor Day. The inventories are going to take us through the weekend, believe me. So after that, we go switch over to heating oil and middle distillates as the driver for prices. So there's no problem with supply. The crude oil inventories are just a little bit below the 5-year average. Distillate inventories are going to be a problem. Gasoline isn't, so it's not supply demand. Demand is flat to negative. All the supply is really going out in the form of refined products to South America.
So I still don't understand then why we're expecting more than 2-cent increase if the supply and demand scenario is such that we don't have to worry about it.
It's called Wall Street.
Okay, so it's speculation.
It's speculation that the Syrian situation, as we've been discussing all afternoon, will escalate and cut off supply of crude oil to basically Europe, which will drive Brent up and bring WTI up. As crude oil increases, so does the price of gasoline.
So maybe the speculators aren't hearing what we've been hearing, which is there's no way the Iranians would close the Straits of Hormuz. That would squelch them as well as the rest of the world.
That's why speculators are speculators.
What is your expectation, once we get past the long weekend, when it comes to the prices of the pumps?
I believe that the highest price you're going to see will probably be announced on Friday for Sunday. The stock markets are closed. They'll close early on Friday, believe it or not. Believe me, they will.
Right.
And they won't open again on both sides of the border till Tuesday. So Friday is going to be an interesting number. It depends on what activity is going to happen with Syria. Are they going in? Are they not? Is it going to go to the United Nations? That could take forever to make a decision there. So if it's a short stint, I think prices will plummet. If it's a long go, prices go through the roof. What
kind of lag time are we talking about when you sort of factor out the speculative component to it? If there was a conflict that spilled over, closed the Straits of Hormuz, we were told that the Saudis would actually start pumping more, as many as 2 million additional barrels a day. When they open those spigots wider, how long before it actually filters to the gas pump?
It's immediate. It's last in, first out economics, so it's immediate. It used to be the other way around, but that's the way it works. And the speculators get right on it, and that's the way it works.
All right, so when we pull up at the pumps going into the weekend and prices are higher and we're shaking our fists, we ought not to be doing so at the poor guy in the booth.
No, and not the oil companies per se. The price isn't set in Toronto. It's not set in Vancouver or Calgary.
Roger, great having you with us. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Roger McKnight is Senior Petroleum Analyst at Enpro International.